So, welcome to a new video. This is different, you can see me. Probably not going to happen again. This is my attempt at a devlog, and you probably saw by the title, this is a devlog of a new bot. For those of you who don't know, I am the only developer at the moment of the Discord bot called Simplix, which is multi-utility admin stuff. But this time I thought I'd do something fun. Everyone remembers r/place, or I assume you know what r/place. If you don't, I'll go through that in a minute. But I enjoyed that, and I was wondering how easy could you recreate this, but then like play it on Discord, saves server hosting and that kind of web nonsense. And then if you can do it on Discord, what would that look like? How would it work? So my new thing is I'm going to try and remake it as a Discord bot. So for you, those who don't know what r/place, you clearly don't spend a lot of time on the internet. But it's basically a massive canvas. I can't remember the size. I think it was about 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. And every 5 minutes, you can edit the color of one pixel on this canvas. And there wasn't any color choice. I think there were about 12 colors. So that's the idea. Every 5 minutes, you can run a command, and you can change one color of a pixel on this canvas. And you may be thinking, how on earth do you make art? Well, the idea behind that is you have to work in groups. So there's something that might be a load of people trying to make the Arch logo, or Tux, Linux Penguin, I don't know, a cat. So that's kind of the idea. How am I going to do this? I don't quite know yet. It will be written in Python. So my first thoughts are Pillow, or Pill, which is the Python library. Don't know what that stands for. It's some graphical editing library. Quite not like it. I've used it for like meme generation. How far off can that be? The next thing will be setting up the Discord bot. Something I'd like to do different to r/place is a dynamic cooldown. So instead of locking you every 5 minutes, it will be a range from 1 to, let's say, 10. And if it's really active, it's at the moment lots of users, you get a 10-minute cooldown. If it's empty at those hours, you get a 1-minute cooldown. And that will probably be the last step. So first thing first is learning Pill, or Pillow, whatever it is. I haven't used it for something like this. The first step's installing all the packages, because I have downloaded the new installation of Mint. So I don't even have Python installed. So let's go do that. So, kinda made progress. It's not really that impressive, and think about it, it's really simple and it's a mess. I'm not going to use a load of if statements. I'll probably use switch statements or something similar because that just looks nicer. So what have I done? I've got Pill working. First off, it creates ourselves a canvas. It's 250 by 250. That seems to be plenty. It then makes ourselves a pixel map. We're going to probably change this so it loads the previous canvas, because if I restart the bot, I don't want to lose all of the art. There is a bit of me tempted to save all of the pixels into a SQL file, and then it loads the SQL file each time. I might look into that. But anyway, let's see what this does so far. You run it, hopefully. Come on, laptop. My actual computer decided to not play ball today, so that's why I'm doing it here. So we give it an x coordinates, let's say 1, give it a y coordinates at 1, and let's say we want a red pixel. Okay, that's annoying. So 1, 1, red. I forgot and I added a spacer there. And now it will... Oh, it's made a few. Let's see, which is the latest file. Here it is. The latest file is just to give ourselves a quick proof of concept. This won't open up a new temporary file every time, that would be a mess. But as you can see, it's drawn a red pixel. However, I'm now debating that that's quite small. So I'm either tempted to lower the side of the canvas. Actually, let's try that quickly. For argument's sake, let's say 50 by 50. Or the other idea is split it into grids. So we split the canvas into, let's say, 10 by 10 sized amount of pixels. And then when you type in 1, 1, you're actually filling out that whole box, the 1 by 1 cube, or the 10 by 10 cube in position 1, 1. And I think that second idea might give us the best output. Give it a second. Yeah, we're still going to have this mess where the actual amount of colour we're painting, the canvas gets smaller, so we lose detail, and we just get it slightly more blurry as we zoom in. So that's going to be the next solution, working on this grid system. So I'm going to have to do that, and then I'll give you a progress update when I kind of get something working, or if I change my mind. So okay, it's working. When OBS puts a weird orange border around my screen when you start recording, and then I can't see the small logo saying it started recording. Anyhow, kind of made progress in a weird way. So if we type in our coordinates and then we type in our color, let's say blue, and it takes a second still, it draws ourselves up a blue grid, which is perfect. It's 10 by 10, and that's suddenly a lot clearer to read. However, the downside is, let's say I now do 2 by 1 red, it doesn't move itself across by 10. So that time it didn't even color. Oh, ignore me. I tried something before this and then it didn't work and I was being clever. And clearly I forgot to change the number. But the current problem is it's not moving over by 10 cubes, it's just wiping over 1, 1, blue. And then we do 2, 1. Give this a second. I think most of you can probably see the problem if you looked at block 0. But we'll go 2, 1, red. It does take a few seconds. There we go. You can see that, well, now that cube's red. It's not, it's just started from the second pixel. So what we have to do is we're going to have to shift everything across by 10 pixels first. So that shouldn't be too hard. I've just suddenly had a thought which I think might be horrible, but let's try this. Pixel size. That's pixel size. And then we start by can we keep this? Can we just, am I just missing a times? I can't imagine it's something this obvious. I mean, we would then have to times our second point because we wouldn't want to do x plus pixel size. We would want to. Oh, okay, I get the idea. I think. Let's try something. So if we just quickly put ourselves some brackets, and we do the same here. Where's that bracket error come from? Oh, it's not. X times pixel size, and we close that bracket. And then we just go hippity hoppity. That code is now this function's property. And we give this a run. I'll probably have this bot open for like beta while I'm still working on it on our Discord server, which is a great time for me to say, take a look in the description, and there we are, the links. The Discord link, there is a link to my Twitter, and a link for you to donate if you fancied it. So there is 1, 1. It's moved in by 10 and down by 10. So if we now did 2, 1, red. Come on. There we go. That's lined up perfectly. That is amazing. Let's close this window. And let's do this. Let's try a third one. Let's try 3, 1, blue. That's worked. You know what? That is so much better as a solution, and it kind of looks right. That's great news. So there's the update. So I'm going to try to go through all of the other functions and do that. And then I'm also going to work on a quick way of how I'm going to store the pixels when the bot closes. I feel like that's an important feature. And then we can start working on the Discord bot. This might be a 1-episode devlog, which would be strange. Admittedly, if this works, currently I'm going to only do it globally. If this works, I'm going to publish it, get people's feedbacks, and I might consider making it so each server, if they wanted to, can have their own local canvas as well. But there we go, that is progress. So, I've done stuff. And warning, this code's a mess, and this isn't the code that's going to go in the bot. This is just all code to test how well my idea works. So let's close this, and let's stop the code running. So we've still got all of these functions, and these will be in a separate file from the bot, and it will just import it. It will make it so much cleaner. Starting off, nothing's changed. We've then got our functions. Now, at startup, it's going to try and connect to a database, which will save all of the pixels that get created. It will then run through the database, filling out the pixels when the bot first turns on. And then it will continue as it was. And each time something's done, it will save the pixel. So let's run the code. It takes a few seconds, startup never instant. There we go, as we can see, it brought up the image with what we've done so far. And let's put in the 0.77. Let's make that yellow. Help if I can spell that right. It does seem to bring up the image every time, so I might change that to only when you type in a valid color. Actually, through the Discord bot, there won't be commands where you type in a color. Each color will be its own / command, which will make it, well, so you can only use colors that exist. So 7 yellow. There we go. And as you can see, it's made a yellow pixel. That's thanked. I might need to change the shade of yellow. And let's do 6, 6, and make that, I don't know, line. Give it another second. Pillow in Python is not the fastest, but oh well. And there is our line pixel. So now if we close all of our images, so there we go. Close window, and let's restart this. You'll notice all of our pixels are already there. And if I refresh our data that's being shown, so replay that, you can see all of our data's there. So now I'm going to start working on a rough Discord bot. I don't think there'll be many check-ins, because I don't think there'll be much to check in with. It will just be getting on with it. Simple templates. So I'm going to work for a while. If I come across any problems, I will start recording. Otherwise, I might just time-lapse it. I don't know, we'll see. I need to find a charger, so that's the current progress. It works, we just now need to turn it into a Discord bot. Working. That bar should be changing. It is perfect. Let me just turn myself down a tad. So we've done more stuff. Well, actually, I've done quite a lot. Haven't tested it though, because that takes a bit of time. Oh, and webcam me. So what we're doing is there. So what I've done, this is a Discord bot, kind of. It's the start of it. There aren't any commands yet. It's mostly a template. I've made a few. I don't feel like rewriting the bot file every time. So starting from the top, we import Discord, we import pill, bytes.io, which is how we were going to return it, and then a function we've done. So we've done ourselves a file called setPixel. I shouldn't have the file being called the same as the no. That's not smart. Does that auto change for me? Yes, it does. That's brilliant. Okay, well, hopefully that colour will change soon, so it doesn't stand out. Anyway, we have ourselves all of our functions, and that's in a separate file. And I'm going to come back to this because this is smart. Anyway, we run through it, we define all of our information, we check our database is made. If our database is made, we then loop through the data, calling startup pixel, and then hand in the colors and the locations. So if we go back into here, this is where it's going to start adding to our image, as well you can see. Then I didn't want to have to write all of this out twice, so I've done my functions, then got the startup pixel, then I've done a second one called set pixel, and this is the one that the commands are going to use. And it first checks it's within range, but then it just calls the same function as earlier, startup pixel, and logs it. So I didn't have to do it twice. I thought that was a neat little thing. Scrolling down, we do our normal boring onReady stuff, and then we load a load of cogs. So now this is the next step. So the next step is going to be to try and test some of this, and this is a bit hard to test outright. So I'm going to go and register the Discord bot, set that up on a test server, and then start working on a few commands to see if it works. The whole setting up the Discord bot doesn't take too long, but I'll probably go and get something to munch on after that. It takes about half an hour. It's not difficult, it's just an annoying process. You have to log onto their portal, I have to go find my phone because it's 2FA. Actually, I'm recording this on my phone, so that's the first problem sorted. I generally get to the point where I'm trying to request tokens. It's like, oh, I need a 2FA code. Where's my phone? So I'm going to get all of that working, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've got the system tied into the bot now. So if we quickly show you demo, and then I'll show you the code, and then quick explanation. We've got quick channel, so we can run the command set pixel. You can type in any coordinate, so 1, 1. We can then set ourselves the color to be, let's say, magenta. It will respond that, and it hasn't returned an image. So to test that it's worked, we can view the database. There we go. And well, there's magenta there, but you couldn't see it beforehand. So let's say we rerun it. So set pixel 10, 10 to be cyan. We will refresh our data, and there you go at the bottom. The other thing that we've got in is limits. So if we set pixel at, let's say, at 0.900, which is not on the list at all, it will return invalid pixel. We should probably specify the ranges. So the next part will be to get bytes.io to return an image. And then once we've got the image returning, we will be done for the first part of the devlog. And it will technically be a functional bot. Next thing is setting up local images, but that will be the first part done. Welcome back after a quick break. As you can see, I've got images sending. So what are the two commands? First, we've got set pixel, where you can type in the coordinates of a pixel. Give it a color from our drop-down menu. So let's go magenta. Takes a couple of seconds, and there we go. Our image has been sent. We've also got a view canvas function, and then that will send the image as well. I'm probably going to make the canvas slightly bigger. I'm going to mess around with some sizes for a bit. But that is the end of the first devlog. So if you enjoyed that, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm not sure about the bot's name. I might change it. So if you have any ideas for that, please leave a comment or tweet me. And if you would like the invite for this bot, there is a link to the Michael Media Group support Discord server, where there will be a set of instructions of how to invite and use the bots, just because that information may change. So thank you for watching. Hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.